What's going on, guys? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and in today's video I'm going to be going over and charting out as many coins as possible. I'm also going to be going into my investment portfolio and changing the different sell zones and buy zones that I have for my different cryptocurrencies. I like to do this at least once a month or once every couple months in order to really stay on top of the market and make sure that I don't lose too much money, or I don't lose any money, fingers crossed, and that hopefully I make as much money as possible. So this is what basically an actively managed type of fund does, is that they will look into the different investments and they will see which ones are working, which ones aren't working, change things around. And it's much different than simply dollar cost averaging and, just waiting for the next bull run, which is definitely a viable strategy. And that's definitely part of the strategy. But the thing is, it's when you actually start to dollar cost average and how much you put in. A lot of these concepts, they are not, people just don't know about them. So I'm going to try to teach you as much as possible, as much as I know about this type of stuff, so that you could potentially, secure some of your own funds, not lose a lot of money, and potentially maybe even make a lot of money. And so I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. None of it's financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So you have to obviously conduct your own research, do your own research, which, by the way, I do have a video coming out on how to do your own research, which will be coming out pretty soon, which is going to be great. So anyway, let's just sort of get started by going over what was in the market scan that I did the other day. And so I do market scans on a weekly basis. And what I basically came to the conclusion was yesterday that things really are not looking that good. The macro outlook is pretty terrible. The S&P 500 looks really, really shaky. The dollar overall, the dollar looks super, super strong. Although it is coming into a resistance, which if we take a look at the chart right here, you can see that it's coming into the previous resistance, which was the start of the crypto bull cycle, which is why I'm thinking that cryptocurrencies will probably have a pretty decently nice move up. So January 2017 all the way up until January 2018 was the first crypto bull cycle, and you could see that the dollar was just going down tremendously at that time. And then finally, it was sometime in March 2020. That was the bottom of the entire crypto market, right? That was when Bitcoin crashed during the coronavirus. And after that, it just went up only. So the cryptos went up, but the dollar went down. So now the dollar is all the way back up here. So maybe the dollar will go down and crypto will go up. The dollar does seem very overextended right now. So it actually is probably a good idea to get long some cryptos. And we could look at the total market cap, and we could look at some other things to define or figure out like where the best places to buy are, and also understand like how to manage risk and things like that. So one thing that I really want to start doing at this point is what I wrote down, this entire thing that I wrote down here. First off, what you want to do is you want to identify the trend, and you want to make sure that if you're longing, that you're longing an uptrend overall. So you might want to, if I go back here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's say that on the weekly time frame looks something like this, right? So it's clearly in an uptrend. However, the daily, or maybe the 4 hour, looks something like this. Well, this right here could be inside of this entire uptrend. So if let's say that this wasn't here and this was here, maybe what you're seeing, and let me just make this a different color. How do I guess I'll just do this, and then maybe if I make it red, it'll be red, right? Okay, so let's say that this right here is a downtrend on the daily or maybe the 4 hour chart or something like that. Okay. And you see this happening. All right. So what you want to do is you want to plot out the level of interest right here on the higher time frame, and you want to make sure that the higher time frame, whatever, you're going to be going with the trend of the higher time frame. So most of the time, over 50% of the time, the trend tends to continue. So this is a really, really, really good strategy. I'm going to this is my strategy. This is literally how I trade right here. I'm going to share with you how I trade. This is what I do. I look at the big trend, which is usually either the weekly, the daily, or the weekly, right? And I will see what type of trend is happening. So you look like, excuse me, make this white again. Actually, I'm going to make this green. So let's say that the trend is green because we are in an uptrend. So it looks something like this, right? This is what the trend is looking like. And then all of a sudden, we start getting, red candles on the daily or on the 4-hour or something like that. Well, what you want to do first is zoom out to the weekly chart and look for areas of interest. So there's an area of interest right there, and here's an area of interest right here, right? So these are the levels that you want to look at. Also, you would use the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, and you would look for the 61.8. So you'd look for the 61.8, and that could also be a really good area of interest. And that's where you would most likely want to get in. So let's say that it starts coming down and it does something like this, and it comes all the way down to the 61.8, and then you grab it and you get in. You want to get in here and go long because the overall trend, the overall trend is still bullish. A lot of people, what they're doing is they literally zoom into this chart right here, like this little section right here, and they'll say, oh, we are in a downtrend, so or everything is going down, so I'm going to, short. And yeah, you could short right here and you could short right here, sure, but there's a higher probability play of the bigger trend continuing, so it's a higher probability play of longing at the big areas of interest on the higher time frame support. And so I would rather long here than short here. Likewise, the same exact thing, and I'm going to use this tool, the same exact thing goes for coins, that look like this, right? This is clearly in a downtrend, and let's say that this is the weekly, right? This is the weekly chart on a downtrend. Even if it comes and then starts coming back up on the daily chart, it starts coming back up. So now you might get 20% gains right here. And then this might be another, this might be 40% gains right here. Maybe even 50% gains, maybe even 60. But the overall gigantic trend is in a downtrend. So what do I want to do? I want to have a bias in this situation if this is the weekly, and then this right here is a daily, like daily candlesticks, I guess you could say. Then what I would want to do is I would want to have more of a bias to short somewhere in a big area of interest, like somewhere right here, or if I take the Fibonacci from the previous high to the low down there, maybe this would be my area of interest to short right in that golden pocket. And I would put more emphasis on shorting these areas than I would trying to long this area or this area or this area or this area or any of these areas. Why is that? Because the overall trend is down. So yeah, you could long here, but what eventually happens is it's broken. You could long here. Yes, it does go up, but once again, it's broken. It comes back down. You could long here, but the overall trend is down, it's clearly down by this point, and the bottom is broken. So it's much, much easier to continue to go with the trend as opposed to trying to catch bottoms and things like that. Now, here is the big part of this, the big caveat that no one else really says, because what I just explained to you is actually explained in a lot of videos by a lot of different traders. However, this is something that no one says, and this is my own personal strategy. And I'm sure some people say this, right? But let's say that a coin is, going down and this is the weekly chart. So what you want to do is clearly you want to look for short positions to put on in this chart, right? And you want to keep on putting on short positions. When does your bias turn long? When does your bias turn long? Because you don't want to just keep on shorting. Because yeah, you keep on, let's say you short here, you short here, you short here. You just keep on shorting, you make a whole bunch of money shorting. But then what happens is it starts turning around, right? And you start to long. I'll just make this white because I like white. And you continue to short, and you short here, and then it goes in your favor, right? But then you short here, and it goes in your favor again. However, now the trend has changed, and now like you lost out on this short. You lost out on this short because now the price is continuing to move up higher than the previous high. Before it was moving low, it busted through the supports, right? Busted through the support, ended up busting through the support, busting through the support, but now it's busting through the resistance. So to figure out where to start thinking that you should long, what I do is I look at the chart in the overall sense, and I'll say something like this, where maybe before this downtrend started, maybe there was an uptrend, right? Maybe there was a big uptrend. And if that was the case, I'll take the Fibonacci from the very bottom to the very top of the uptrend, and I will say that the 61.8 to the 65% is the golden ratio right there. And this is where I would flip my bias. So I would zoom out. Maybe this is the weekly. Maybe this entire thing is the weekly. But maybe on the monthly, you could see this, or maybe on the weekly, if you just simply zoom the chart out, you could see that before it started this downward momentum, it had this huge upward cycle where, this is sort of annoying me, where you could take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top of that and look at the 61.8, and that is exactly where I would flip my bias long. And you know what? If we do go underneath there, then I'll experience this one loss. But I've experienced, win by shorting here, a win by shorting here, a win by shorting here. I've been, just win. So now it's like, okay, I've experienced so many wins shorting, and it's like you could only keep up your winning streak for so long doing one particular strategy, right? So the next thing that I do is I long here. What was very, very difficult, what happened with Bitcoin and a lot of cryptocurrencies, is that they actually went down starting in November, and it was super, super easy to make a bunch of money December, November, January, and a little bit of February. However, they didn't go into a trending market. They didn't just, turn around like how basically you would expect, like you would think, like, okay, it's gonna turn around. Oh, excuse me, don't want this. Instead of turning around and then just going like straight up, like look at this. This is straight down. Okay, very, very easy to trade. This is straight up, very, very easy to trade. Even back here, this is straight up, very, very easy to trade. This is straight down, very, very easy to trade. This whole area right here, incredibly difficult to trade. Okay, this whole area right here, incredibly difficult to trade. Okay, because let's say you do long it here because you say, okay, I'm going to long it here because this is like some area of interest, all right? And then you do really, really well, but then the price comes all the way back down and then it starts closing down below where you longed it. What do you do in that situation? Because it's not really it's not a trending market. It's a range bound market. So and most traders aren't good at trading ranges. However, I have done a lot of research over the past couple days, over the past couple weeks, really, analyzing my trades that have failed because I shorted, made a fuck ton of money, and then I shorted, but then it popped back up here, and I shorted this, and then I lost because of this, right? And then I shorted again, down here or over here. I didn't short up here. I shorted the pop, so I shorted right here again, thinking the downtrend would continue, but nope, pop back up. And then it's like, okay, now we broke out through the range, so you would think it would do this, right? And start trending upwards, like right after this popped out of this range. But no, It didn't. It came all the way back down. So then I switched my bias and I longed here. However, that obviously it didn't work because we continue to go down because there's not a trend. So it is so important to look for the trend if you are trading the trend. If you're trading the range, trade the range. If you're trading the trend, trade the trend. And identify what it is for you get into the trade. That's the number one thing. Okay. I have a trading cheat sheet and basically determine the market structure is what you want to do. Draw the swing high, the swing low, assume continuation will happen, buy or sell into the value zones, which is about a 50% plus retrace, and then always be aware of the market structure and breaks in the market structure. So that's just obviously something super big. So I'm not really trying to trade this so much. However, what I want to say is that we're in this downtrend. We've been in this massive downtrend for a long time. And same thing, if we go into the daily back here, we were in this massive downtrend, right? How did I know to buy down here though? Well, I knew to buy down there because I took the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top and I got in at the 61.8 around $30,000. That's why down here, it was so easy to buy this low. It was so easy to buy this low. And then it was easy to sell the top. It was easy to buy low, easy to sell top because it lined up perfectly. So where will I really be starting to really switch my bias? Well, once again, it's down here in this zone, 29 to 32K, because that is the 61.8 of this move up. Even actually, look at this. Hold on a second. This one just barely missed it. Wait, actually, did it miss it or no? Let me just do it like that. 32,546. This is 32,900. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it missed it by a couple $100. Of super unfortunate right here because this was the value zone. This was the area of interest that I was looking to really switch into a long bias, but instead it came up just before and reversed just before it, and then did this sideways chop and chopped everybody up. So that's like a big concept. I hope you learned something from it. Super important. With saying all of that, look into the different coins. Let's look into these different coins and see which ones are not correlated and see which ones are actually in upward, trending upward. First one that I think of is this one right here. By the way, I inversed the green candle bars and the red candle bars so that the green is down and the red is up. And look at this. This is ApeCoin. We had this entire zone, which was 198 bars on the 4-hour chart, followed by a break to the upside, a retest, and then a continuation upward. This is in an uptrend, okay? So I'm going to want to long ApeCoin. I'm just going to keep on longing ApeCoin because this is in an uptrend. Until the trend breaks, there's no reason to not trade and buy ApeCoin. It's my number one coin, hands down. Let's look at another coin, a different coin, Alpha. I've heard of Alpha before when everyone was shilling it on crypto Twitter. Not back. It might have been there. It was either there or it was. No, it definitely wasn't there. It was in the beginning. Yeah, like right around here, everyone was basically shilling Alpha, and now obviously it shit the bed. I think everyone just got paid. All the influencers just got paid to fucking do it. But like, look at this coin. Actually, this is actually a good point. This coin, I don't know if I would actually short it, but what I would do is I would probably look to short pops because people are just looking for exit liquidity at this point. So they want to spike the coin up, newbies will come and buy it, and then the people who actually have the coin will be selling into that. And so this entire area right here is actually an area that I would switch my bias to long. But because I don't know anything about Alpha and it doesn't have any narrative around it, there's just so many other coins that are so much better, aka ApeCoin. Even Dogecoin is so much better. There's just any coin with a narrative, any coin with a good community, a great community, people backing it, a nice marketing push, anything that could go into the mainstream. anything like that has a better opportunity to do really well than coins that people don't know about at all, right? Or like don't care about. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's look at, I wonder what this is. 78.6. Okay, so here's one. Here's one that is, wait a minute. I think that this is actually, yeah, this is the bottom. So this is a coin where I would see this huge run up, and then, okay, I would want to get in at 61.8 here and get out right here. And like I've done that a million times. So I do that. And then I would want to short it. I would short it here. I wouldn't want to just buy and sell. I would want to buy a lot and I'd want to sell all of it and then short it here. And then I would want to take my profit here. And then I would maybe determine, maybe I would want to take my profit here. Yeah, I would. However, where would I want to get long after the 3 taps of this 61.8? Well, I would probably want to get long here, but as soon as I saw this rejection, I'd probably get out and want to long at the 78.6 right here, which ended up doing well. But right now, this is in a very sideways market, so this one's actually pretty difficult to determine and to say, okay, I want to short it right now. However, given the macro landscape and given everything that's happening, what you could do is you could play the range by longing any breakdowns, because this is how most traders, that they're going to long right here and they're going to put their stops right here underneath the range, right? So if they're doing that, that means that their stops are going to be exit liquidity or liquidity for whales to buy and then shoot the price all the way back up. So longing right here at the bottom of the range isn't necessarily the best move. However, longing underneath the range in the liquidity zone is in my opinion a much better move, because we are much more likely to have fake breakdowns and then shoot back up. Look at this, fake breakdown right here and then shoot back up. Okay, so we're very, very likely to have that. Plus, if it lines up with the fib, that's another confluence. So I really like that. And then I would probably take my profits. But here's the thing, because this is in a downward trending, coin, and the macro environment is, very poor, I wouldn't want to wait to take my profits at the top. I would want to take my profits in the middle, just at the 50%, which is basically like what happened right here, right? So I would definitely want to take my profits in the middle, and then I would want to short the tops and short a little bit above the tops, like the liquidity zone. So I would start shorting at the top and then add to my position. So it would be a small position here, medium position here, and by the time it got to here, I would add a third round, and then it would be a big position for a short. However, longing, I would probably have a small to a small medium size position long, just because the overall trend is down. So you want to make sure your position sizes are incoherent or are like adapted to the overall market. Like right now, we don't have new people coming into the market. We don't have a lot of money flow. There's people are leaving. We're in a downward trending market. The macro is terrible. So and Bitcoin, you always have to look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin could go down to 26K. So given all of that, you don't want to put emphasis on your longs. You want to put emphasis on your shorts, unless coins are clearly in uptrends despite what Bitcoin's doing. So that's the caveat right there of where you want to go heavy into long positions. It's for the coins that are trending despite what all of the rest of the market is doing. Because if you look at this entire market, I'll go like this. I'll go on the daily. Look, terrible, absolutely crap. This one's even worse. All right, same thing. God, and this sucks because I loved Atlas. I bought it like here. I'm probably down like 90% on this. Yeah, I'm down like 80%. This is so bad. So that sucks. Lost all my money on that. Atom Atom's not bad. This is, oh, here's another case. Here's another case of where you might want to long. Because if you look, let's look on the weekly, the weekly chart is in an uptrend. It's in a nice uptrend. I don't really like how it broke this, but you can clearly see an area that has been major support multiple times, right? So this is where I would get long, and I'm guessing that's the 70 set. I'm guessing that's the 78. No, it's not the 78. That is the, hold on a second. Let me do this. Bring it down here. Yeah, I think that this is, yeah, this looks correct to me. So actually looking at that now, this area would be the first area of interest. However, it's tapped it so many times that if this was right here, and we had both the 61.8 and we had this huge diagonal support level, plus like this was major resistance that's now support, then that would be a really big confluence. I'd love to get in right here. But given the situation, I'm actually really not liking it like so much for that particular reason. So let me bring this back down, and I will try doing something like this. And this makes a lot more sense to me. So remember how we just went over Crow and we said it tapped the 61.8 a couple times, and then eventually it came back down to the 78.6, and that's where like the long bias would be. So I would still have a short bias even on Atom until it reaches this zone. Once it reaches this zone down here, then my bias will flip long, because look at this. Look at how many times it's hit this major diagonal support. Plus it's at the 78.6. So you want to look for a lot of different confluences. Plus this area is actually much major support. Look at this support at $16.58. So much support down here. So this is an obvious area to long, to just buy Atom and long. I would bet a lot of money that we're going to see a minimum 16% jump from this green box for Atom. So this is actually a coin that I would put a trade on, and I'm going to. So yeah, this is literally one, and I'm going to be going through. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through all of these different coins, and not just look for long positions and where I'm going to switch to a long bias, but I'm also going to look for where I want to short, because right now, until we get here, I have a short bias. Until we get here, I have a short bias until the market structure changes and the general market sentiment changes and everything else changes, right? So I will also look for areas to short. This is a pretty obvious line for me to short, especially if it comes up and I guess let's say it does like something like this, comes up and hits it. Where is a good here, or even hits it? Honestly, if it hits it here, if it like ranges for days and for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then comes up here. Either way, the point is that you want to have as much confluence as possible. So this would actually be pretty good too. This would be this is obvious. This could be a longing area, but this area seems much more better to long. So looking for areas to short, this would be like here, $25, just under $25, pretty easy area to look for shorts. And that's what I would do. I would like look for areas to short. So I'm going to do that for pretty much all of the coins that are available on FTX. But before I do that, I will go into my investment account and all of the coins that I have there and look for areas to sell the different coins that I'm holding in my investment account, so that I could free up some capital just in case, we continue to move forward, continue to move down, and Bitcoin does see that crash down to 26K that I am expecting, 26 or maybe even lower. I don't know if it's going to go lower than that, because I think everyone's going to expect it to go down to 20, to bounce off of 20, maybe in 14. But I think everyone's going to be buying it way before that. I think any big institutions, big players, they're going to be buying it well before it hits 20K. So that's why I want to be in, at 26, because I think maybe they'll try to buy it at 24. So I want to try to buy it at 26. Let's see if it works out. I've always gotten front ran before, so I'm hoping $6,000 is enough to be where the other big whales will be front running everyone else, as opposed to waiting for 20K or 14K or whatever other people are doing. But because there is that possibility of Bitcoin doing that, you know, that's why I want to go into my investment portfolio and just like really look at areas where I could de-risk. And then the other reason why I actually want to do that is because I was looking at the historical snapshot of a lot of different cryptocurrencies, and if you notice, like this is the high of the last cycle, not the last cycle, but the cycle before the 2017 cycle. And what you'll see is that Bitcoin did exceptionally well. Bitcoin just like absolutely went up like so much, and it has continued to perform, and it's doing super good. And then Ethereum was just over $1,000 at the top of 2018, and you know, Ethereum is over $2,000 right now, almost $3,000. So actually, let me look at this. Let me just see what it is right now, because it is almost $3,000. Yeah, so it's almost $3,000. So you know, Ethereum has done exceptionally well. However, if you look at XRP, it's $3.38 back in the high of 2018, and where is it now? 64 cents. So yeah, XRP did absolutely horrible. Bitcoin Cash did absolutely horrible. Cardano, the high, you know, it reached around $1 back then, and then dropped to like 4 cents or something, and then it went all the way up to I think like $3. But now Cardano is down to 82 cents. So the point is, if you got in near the high of the cycle, you would not have made that much money on a lot of these coins, and you would never have ever seen the highs again for a lot of other ones. So there's like Neem at $1.84. It's like 10 cents now or something like that. Litecoin, $288. It's like $100 now. Tron is 20 cents. It's like 6 cents now. Stellar, all of these coins, Stellar, IOTA, Dash, EOS, Monero, Neo, Quantum, Bitcoin Gold, Ethereum Classic, Lisk, Icon, Nano, Siacoin, Bytecoin, Zcash, Verge, OMG, BitConnect, BitShares, Populous. All of those coins have gone down in value and are lower today than where they were in 2018 at the peak of 2018. Dogecoin is one of the only exceptions. Binance Coin is another exception, and but most of them have definitely done very, very, very poorly and are basically going to zero. And like you would have been better off just buying Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin instead of buying these coins and holding these coins. However, if you got into a few of these coins at the lows when they were low, and then you sold them as they pumped up, look, Ethereum did like, I think let's see, $100 to $3,000, right? Or $4,000 really, 40x. So that was great. Cardano, let's say it was 3 cents and it went to $3, you know, that's a 300x. So, yeah, you could have done way better. Like if you get into these altcoins at the lows and then sold them on the way up. And so my game plan is to try to free up as much capital as I can right now on any possible bounces. Hopefully, like I mentioned in the beginning of this stream or of this video, we get the bounce due to the dollar, you know, coming into the previous high, even though it is super strong right now. And we do get a bounce in crypto because the dollar falls, and then I can de-risk all of my investments and free up some capital so I could buy them low. And if I buy them at the lows, then all you really have to do is just wait until the next market cycle and then scale out on the way up and just make an insane amount of money, right? I'm going to go into my investments now and plot these out. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys. So, I'm about to go over all of my different investments, and I've been going over them for like a while now. I put them all in TradingView. I looked at all of my prices, where I bought them and where I was going to sell them and stuff like that. And I am definitely really disappointed in the fact that I did not sell them. Like this is obviously, this is my investment account, so it's like a longer term thing. But I gotta tell you, like after doing more research, I am way more hesitant to hold on to so many different coins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I was looking back at the historical data from a lot of different cryptocurrencies, a lot of different altcoins, and a lot of these different altcoins, they just like basically went to zero. So they didn't go to zero, but they lost like 99% of their value and like never really recovered. And so yeah, it definitely makes me hesitant to like hold on to so many. But with that, I am going to be doing a new series probably called Fundamental Friday, or some type of fundamental series where I go over the different cryptocurrencies that I want to research and want to look into to potentially hold for a long term. So I will do that. But as of right now, things just like, man, I just don't really like the way that things are looking. And if you want to know why I don't really like the way that things are looking, just look at my last video, the Trading Tuesday video from April 27th. Like, it just sucks. I mean, I'm looking at all of this. I'm looking at all of the different charts, and it's like things are not looking good. And it's like, do I really want to be holding these things, like, in case there's a drawdown? Like, what if the total market cap falls all the way down to where I think it will fall, which is it could potentially fall all the way down to 1.228, or maybe ETH goes all the way down to, goes all the way down to this level, 2000. Like, we're only here. If ETH falls down here, alts are going to fall another 80%. So it's really, I don't know. It's been super disheartening, to say the least. But with that, I do want to shed some perspective on this entire situation, which is that it's actually a tweet that I put out. I just put this out and said, if you're upset at the amount of money that you left on the table this bull run, just write out what you're grateful for. I put down the fact that I'm healthy. As someone who used to be sick, I know that if you have your health, you have everything. And if you don't, then nothing else matters. And this is very, very, very true. I immediately felt better, like instantaneously, because I used to actually be very sick, and I would go to the hospital and I'd be in like extreme pain from an autoimmune disease, and I literally like recovered from that through diet and rest and exercise and stress reduction and supplementation, different supplements, and something called functional medicine and all this other stuff, right? And so that really put things into perspective. So if you are feeling very like just terrible about the money that it was lost this bull run, or that you left on the table this bull run, if you have your health, just recognize that you have everything. And there's a saying, and it goes like, the man with his health has 1,000 dreams, but the man without his health has but one. And that is so true. So yeah, I just want to mention that, because I'm gonna go through all my investments, and basically I'm gonna have to sell some of them at like pretty major losses, due to the fact that I have some things that are coming up, some expenses, and I need to pay them. So I have to take my losses. And then another thing that really worries me is the fact that the people who got in the pre-sale rounds on all these cryptocurrencies and the seed rounds, like, they're getting their tokens unlocked, and then they could immediately dump. And Kadena, KDA, for example, it's at $4.50 right now. Yeah, it could pump back up to, whatever, on new all-time highs, who knows? But, do you know what price the seed round investors got this coin at? They got it at 1 cent. 1 cent. So the people who got it at the seed round are still up 450x. So there's still a lot of incentive to continue to sell. And it's like, that's scary. That's definitely scary. Especially if you're going to, need money, and you still have money. So, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at all these things, and I'm probably going to sell a lot, or sell some. And then also, what I'm doing is I'm going to look at them compared to Bitcoin. So, because the other thing that I learned was that, a lot of these cryptocurrencies against Bitcoin just end up falling like terribly. So I want to show you something. KuCoin BTC markets. So these are all of the cryptocurrencies against Bitcoin. So basically what these charts are showing is that if you hold the Bitcoin versus if you hold Bitcoin. So in this case, too crazy against Bitcoin. So basically if you bought too crazy, you would have lost, this much value against Bitcoin. So you're 90% down compared to what Bitcoin did. So Bitcoin is about 40% down from its all-time high right now. But too crazy against Bitcoin is 90%. So you would have been much better off holding Bitcoin rather than holding too crazy. The same thing goes for like basically every single cryptocurrency. Like look at Aave. Aave had, this little January and February, basically the bull run. It's basically like the bull run happens, and that's when you get into alts and you make a whole bunch of money. And then after that, against Bitcoin, everything just goes down. Look at Cardano. Cardano was at 2 cents and went to $3. So it outperformed Bitcoin drastically, right? And so if you got into Cardano down, March 2020, right? June, July, March. There you go. Like March 2020. That was the COVID, and that was the bottom of the entire market. You would have outperformed Bitcoin drastically, right? However, during the bear market, like so far, you're down 66%, 67% against Bitcoin. So the other thing though that I'm thinking of, or that I'm looking at, is like, well, damn, a lot of these coins, they're already down so much against Bitcoin. Are they at the levels, are they at levels where I would want to actually buy for like the longer term? Because some of them sort of look like they are. And so that's been like super confusing to me. Actually, okay, so scratch this. This is not what I would do. I would not buy it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, the different zones. And if I see like this one, okay, Cardano, yeah, it could fall another 22% against Bitcoin, which is like scary. So what I want to do for a lot of them is actually sell, and buy Bitcoin with it, because that way, at least if Bitcoin goes up, then I'll still be in the market. But I mean, look at this. So far, all of them except for Cardano have gone down against Bitcoin. Like you would have been better off holding Bitcoin. Ergo did pretty well since the beginning. AERG. Let's see. It's on Coinbase, Binance. Okay, AERG. This is an interesting coin. I wonder if it's on any. Yeah, it's on KuCoin too. Maybe this is one to look at, actually. I'll highlight it, I guess. But going back to, the different charts, literally like all against Bitcoin, they all sort of suck. Like mostly all of them do pretty poorly. So I'm really looking to, I'd rather just buy Bitcoin, Like you would have been better off just buying and holding Bitcoin almost in every single case, really, except for during the freaking bull run. Like that's it. That's the only time. So really, if you think about it, bull markets are for buying altcoins. Sorry for taking so long to say that, but bull markets are for buying altcoins, except for when you think that the bottom of a bear market might be in. Because if there's a bottom of a bear market, then that's the time to be buying altcoins. So what you might want to do also is to wait until Bitcoin starts to pop off a little bit. And then once Bitcoin starts to pop off, that's when you buy into altcoins, because that altcoins will follow through after that, because it's usually the cycle goes Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then altcoins, and then the different narratives, right? So my game plan is to be mostly in Bitcoin, right? Be mostly in Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin starts moving higher, and like we're basically in a bull market, in Bitcoin terms, that's when I would really like to take a look at altcoins again and buy a lot of altcoins. And I'm gonna just basically have my altcoin buys be at like levels that are at the lows against Bitcoin. Oof, like this looks really bad. AVAX, actually, AVAX is definitely setting up a short looking at this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go through the different coins and against Bitcoin, and that could help me determine if I want to get into short positions against coins on their USDT pairs or USD pairs in the perps. I'm going to do that. But the first thing that I'm going to do though is look at the coins that I have and, buy or sell or whatever. And basically go into Bitcoin and de-risk a little bit because honestly, like I said it in this video, like Bitcoin could still go down to 26K. Like Ethereum could still go down. Like it's so much risk. And if you don't need the money, like whatever, that's fine. But like I sort of need the money because I bought some condos in Miami and they are my like big, I put like big payments down and then I have like 2 more big payments. So that's why I need to sell because they're going to be revenue generating condos like with Airbnb and stuff like that. So like obviously I want them so I could make money and then put it more into crypto. So we're going to do this and I'll still have my trading accounts. To make money with, which is great. So, and I finally started to do well in my trading account again. I was up like 20%. November, December, January, while the whole market was crashing, I was shorting everything. So I was up like so much. And then in March, when basically the market, went up, what happened was I continued to short and I shorted the pops, but then it went up even more, like even more so. And I just like kept on shorting. And then we had like coins like KNC, which just like completely went up like forever. And Waves, which did this insane run up. Like I shorted Waves here and like that obviously didn't work. So, and then like I think I might have tried here and that didn't work. So there's just been like a lot of these coins that I tried to fade the very, very tops, like basically the all-time highs. And that did not work at all. And then finally I wised up and I was like, okay, so what's the other coin that's actually doing well? And it was ApeCoin. And that's when I bought ApeCoin, like somewhere around like, I think it was 14. So yeah, this market has been very, very difficult, but I have a new strategy now that I'm using and it's actually winning. So hopefully I'll continue to win in my trading account from now on. So let's go into my long-term investments. And I'll just go through them right after I do this. Firstly, when will I want to buy back? I already explained like when they're at the bottom against BTC, but some of them could fall out below their bottoms against BTC. So I would really want to buy back all of my altcoins like here, here or here. This is altcoin dominance. So I want the altcoin dominance to fall. Same thing with the total market cap. I would love to buy back my altcoins literally at one point when it falls back down here. Like this would be a great time to buy more altcoins or buy coins back. Same thing with total 2, which is the total market cap of the altcoins. And the other thing that I'm looking at was like this level right here. Like we came up, we came back down, and then we retested this level, and now it's resistance. It's red. So I wanted to sell into this, but I think it went like right below the line. Yeah. And so I didn't get a sell. This was a high of 1.056 and 1.056 was the line. So, the alerts don't go off. That's it. But yeah, I mean, everything just points like it's going to just keep on dropping and go lower, like low, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So it looks like there's going to be a lower low. Like, why would I do that? The other time that I want to buy back my alts is on the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. Like ETH Bitcoin chart. Hold on a second. If ETH Bitcoin falls down here, or maybe if ETH against Bitcoin like comes all the way down here, that'd be a stretch, right? this would be, but it falls down here. This is definitely a time, but this, I feel like the whole market would crash. There's just so much uncertainty right now. And there hasn't been a capitulation. Like there still hasn't been a capitulation wick. It's like COVID was a capitulation wick. Look at this. I need to fit to, oh my gosh. Make this full screen. This candle right here, it lost 52% in one day. This is called a capitulation candle, okay? It loses 52%. We haven't really had that. And like, I'm afraid we're gonna have it. I'm like really afraid we're gonna have this. And like, I need more USDT to buy whenever this happens. I don't have enough USDT. I waited until alts were 60 to 70% off their highs. And then I started buying and they still dropped. So I can't imagine the people who held from higher up. That must really suck. But like, yeah, I'm still down 20% on a lot of coins. It's very disheartening to say the least. But yeah, we haven't had that capitulation candle. And that's really what I'm looking for is this. Same thing. I remember when this happened too. Like this right here, the bottom fell out, right? And we had a 50% drop from where the bottom, quote unquote, bottom was at 6K. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe literally watch this be this be at the bottom now. Like watch this be the bottom like right now, like 39,000 or whatever. This 38,000 was the bottom and now we're just going to move up from here. Like, I don't know. I have no fucking clue. The only thing that is really okay, not really, never mind. I was going to say the only thing that we have going on in our favor is the US dollar possibly going down. And today, look at it. It started to go down. But you can't see the right side of the chart. I'll move it over for you right here. Oh, never mind. It doesn't really matter. Basically, all of the cryptocurrencies went down today. That's like confirmation. Yeah, the fact that the dollar went down and yet all of the cryptocurrencies have gone up. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here, right here. All of the cryptocurrencies have gone down, right? At least all of my investments, all my long-term investments. Look at the market scan right now. All of the cryptocurrencies have gone down, but the dollar, the DXY, here, boom, DXY has gone down. So the DXY goes down. Cryptocurrencies should have gone up, but look, everything's down. That's okay. Honestly, that right there was my confirmation that I want to sell. Yeah, that's it. Okay, guys. So this is actually sort of crazy. I'm probably literally calling the bottom right now because of what I'm about to do, but I've been looking at the different charts and I think the best course of action for me personally to take right now, given my personal situation, how much money I have in crypto, and the fact that I owe money in order to buy the condo, like basically the reason why I wanted to make money this last cycle was to buy 2 condos in Miami and so that I could Airbnb them out and have that be my source of income, because I don't make money from I hardly make money from anything else that I do other than simply trading. And yeah, that's it, simply trading. I have a course and I have a Discord group, but honestly, I do not make hardly any money from that compared to actually like my trading accounts. It's 100th of what I make in my trading account, So my biggest goal was for my trading account to buy the condos, and I'm going to owe money on the condos. So what I'm doing, or not necessarily my big goal of my trading account, but my biggest goal for my investment account. And I still have enough in my investment account to buy the condos. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sell everything back into USD right now. Okay, that's number one. And then I'm going to go through all of the different cryptos, all of the different coins that I have, or that I have in my investment account, right? And I'm going to determine whether or not I'm going to buy back or how much I'm going to buy back. what I'll do is I'll look through the ones that I have and that I really like and I really have a lot of conviction in everything, and I'll buy back a certain amount like immediately, like right off the top, right? And I'll buy that back. But at least I could harvest the tax losses by selling right now for 2022. So I'll have huge tax deductions for 2022. And then I'll buy back. I'm just going to buy back a lot of, or not a lot, but I'm going to buy back a portion of what I sold for the different coins that I really like, really understand, really know, and want to be a part of. And then I'm going to start putting more towards basically averaging down on my positions, like where I'm going to average down, and then I'll figure the rest out later. But yeah, I'm about to do that. So I have, KDA, it's $4.40, and MNW is $1.23, $1.24 really. Elon is whatever, nine millionths of a penny, 900,000th of a penny, I guess. VXV is $1.63. Actually, wait a minute. Okay, no, I thought that flipped bullish, but no, it's back to being bearish. So yeah, there's a lot of coins. You'll see which ones I'm going through, since I'm doing this basically live, not live, but I'm doing this and publicly doing this because a lot of these coins, like look at how do you even pronounce it? QRDO. Yeah, QRDO, for example. Like this is what I think. This is what's scary. This is what's fucking scary. Is that, look at this chart. This is the QRDO against Bitcoin chart, and this was the bottom, right? So hold on a second. November QRDO. Let's see. Yeah, this was basically the bottom over here against Bitcoin. And it fell, like it's below. I don't want to own a coin that's this far, that drops below the lowest possible points on the chart. Does that make sense? So to me, this is a dead coin against Bitcoin until I don't want to hold coins that have dropped this low. I would much rather hold Bitcoin, which is the opposite of this, or I would rather wait until coins like this pump back up to above their lows, and then get in when they're above, because I don't want to be chasing. I don't want to double down on losers. I don't want to do that until they reach a point where it's like a good time to buy. And for me, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll sell in November. So I'll sell like here, right? And then I'll want to buy back. Where do I want to buy back? I want to buy back here. So it comes back all the way down, buy back here, right? Comes back up. I think I'm doing good, but now it's fallen below. So this is definitely, I'm thinking from a trader's perspective here. I'm not thinking from a long-term investor's perspective. I'm thinking totally from a trader's perspective. But from a trader's perspective, it's just in my mind, it's so difficult to say that I would want to buy altcoins at these levels. This right here, though, some of them are at pretty important levels. Phantasma, Phantasma's at that key level. Damn, Phantasma has been around for a long time. But it's do you see? I just don't see. Actually, wait a minute. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is actually a very key level for Phantasma. But it's I don't see a reversal. This one's a fucking tricky one. This one's fucking tricky. Because this one is one that I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is where it starts right here. Yeah, perfect. See, 61.8 right there. 30.2 right there. Falls back down. 78.6 just above it. Falls back up. So Sol BTC chart is at the institutional level right there. How about the Sol USD chart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, basically bottom to top right here. I guess you could call this one here. See, this one's difficult because this one, yeah, this is at the level that's oh shit, okay, institutions usually buy at this level. But okay, so that's why I'm gonna go through all of them to determine what to buy and stuff like that. Okay, so I guess I'll just start off on Ethereum because I want to accumulate a lot of Ethereum. And to me, this is what I see. I see a failed breakout followed by a retest of the breakout downward, followed by a failure to hold the 61.8, and now we're moving back down in a bear macro trend, which to me puts the next obvious level for Ethereum at either 2,500 or down here at 2,400, 2,372. So this is where I'll put an order in for Ethereum, is at 2,372. Okay, so now that we have Ethereum, the next thing that I want to do is go over the different coins that I want to invest into for the long term and basically plot out the levels. So Ethereum obviously is the one that I want, is a big one. Another one that I would like to have a lot in is Kadena or KDA. And what I'll do is I'll just show you in my Discord, I have a long-term investments portfolio, and it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Quant Network. Obviously, I love Quant Network, Solana, Engine, Decentraland. Although I think I'm going to switch Decentraland to Sandbox, or like have like a split. So actually, let me just do that right now. Go up here and Sandbox, Sand. And I'll say these are the two biggest metaverses so far. Even though Sandbox is definitely bigger, but I guess I can't do that. Whatever. Maybe if I delete this, that could work. Nope. Oh well, whatever. 11 minus 11. Everyone knows about Ethereum, so I don't have to do that. 14. There you go. Okay, cool. Kadena, Morpheus Network, Dot Energy Web Token, Parsec, Woo, Decred, XRP, Uni, Vet. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't want Vet anymore. So I'm going to cross this out. I don't know if, yeah, whatever. I'll just do that. Erase it. UFT, Own, Illuvium, Starless, DYDX. I no longer want DYDX. So yeah, I deleted all of these things. Elon's Lead, KDA, Quarto, XPR, Akash Network. Okay, so I have a lot of different long-term things. But what I'm going to do is really try to focus more on like Bitcoin and stuff like that, and wait until these reach my super key levels. So Kadena, right? Kadena, this is what I'm going to say. Great buying picked up small amount here. Ideal buying opportunity, buying and holding here. So I have two places for Kadena. One is right here and one is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up, and instead of trying to time this exact bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this alert up to up here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, starting will put orders in, stack orders in, within this level. Because anywhere within this level is a good opportunity, is a good buy price, is a value price for Kadena, in my opinion. And so since anywhere in this level is good, in my opinion, I'm comfortable buying down into this level. The thing is that for all of my altcoin picks, I don't want to have too much money into them, because these are, if you put $100 into 10 different coins and only one of them needs to do 100x, right? And you'll be fine for like your long-term investments or whatever. So really, I'm not trying to go super heavy into any of these, but my game plan will be to stack orders down in zones that are ideal buying opportunities. Okay, so for Kadena, I have like 1%. So for Kadena, I want 5% of my portfolio to be in Kadena, of my long-term investment portfolio, not my overall portfolio. And so I have 1% in right here, and I have another 4% stacked down here, and here. So that's what I'm doing for Kadena. Okay, so now I'm on to Quant, and what I really want to do, actually, wait a minute. Before I even go into Quant, I want to go back into KDA and just like show you something real quick. So, hold on one second. Yeah. Okay. So actually, I completely forgot to add in the component of Bitcoin. So like I've mentioned previously in this video, you really want to get into Bitcoin first And then once Bitcoin starts to go on a rally, that's usually the first sign of a bull market. And then once Bitcoin starts going to rally, that's when you really want to get into altcoins. Or you really want to get into altcoins when the altcoin Bitcoin ratio or altcoin to Bitcoin chart looks absolutely like dog crap, and it just looks so bad. And so one of the you have to denominate the altcoin in Bitcoin as well and look at that chart. So I looked at the KDA chart for USD against USD, but I also want to look at it against Bitcoin, because there's no point in holding KDA or Quant or any altcoin for that matter unless it's outperforming Bitcoin, because otherwise you might as well just hold Bitcoin. So because of that, you always should look at the Bitcoin chart as well. So I already bought one thing of 1% of my KDA here. So I'll write that 1% of my KDA long-term hold here, and then I'll put the stacking the rest in down here. So 1 second. So yeah, now I have it. So now I have what price I want to get into the altcoin if it's against USD, in case I'm in USD, and I also have what I want to get into altcoins if it's against Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin, like for instance, if Bitcoin falls to 26,000, that to me is a very, very fair value of Bitcoin, and I want to be all in Bitcoin at that point. I don't want to have any USD at that point. I want 100% in Bitcoin at that point. And then if I'm in Bitcoin at that point and altcoins are still, wherever altcoins are, and then the altcoin comes down, then I will move from my Bitcoin into altcoins. So it's like right now I'm in USD, okay? If Bitcoin, and I'm just doing trades, I'm just trading back and forth. If Bitcoin falls to a fair value, then I will be all in Bitcoin. And then if altcoins fall against Bitcoin because Bitcoin rises and altcoins either stay stagnant or they fall, then I will move my Bitcoin into altcoins. So I hope that makes sense, because that's what I'll do, and then I will change it up from there. Okay, guys, so this is actually pretty crazy. I just got back from a walk, and so many alerts just went off. You could see it's currently 8 o'clock, so at 7:30, my alert for ALBT, Parsec, Engine coin went off at 7, CeeLo at 7:08, Dot. Damn, I guess I was out for a minute. Ren. So many coins, so many freaking coins just went off. So I'm gonna go and look at them. So ALBT number 1, I'm gonna click it and I'm gonna see what the what it was. So I put this about, I guess it was about 40% lower, and it looks like it finally hit, or maybe it's about to hit. Okay, so what I did was actually pretty smart. So I didn't put it in to buy like right here. I put this right here, and I put the alert in right here. So I'm gonna buy it a little bit lower. If it goes a little bit lower, I'm gonna buy a little bit right now, but I'm also gonna set my my other buys for like slightly lower, right? And I'm just gonna like stack in this entire area for ALBT. So let me do that really quickly. Okay, so I just put my order in for ALBT, and let me update everyone in the alerts thing. Putting in of my portfolio in BT here and at 0.16, then forgetting about it. Okay, so boom, I did that. And the next one up is Parsec. So I'll click the Parsec tab and I will check this out. So Parsec, I put my ideal buy zone about 35% below where I had my last thing, and it looks like it's getting into that ideal buy zone. So all right, it's still below it, I think, right here. Let's go to, what is this, Parsec Tether. So Parsec, and then there's Parsec, yeah, PRQ Tether right here on KuCoin. Actually PRQ, maybe OKX, no, PRQ. I'm trying to look for the one with the most amount of data. Here it is. So Poloniex has the most amount of data for Parsec, and so yeah, this is a good buy zone for Parsec. So I'm gonna put 0.5% of my account into Parsec right now. Okay, so now the next one was Engine. So I'll click the Engine alert that went off. And so I put amazing buy opportunity down here for Engine against Bitcoin. This was February 23rd. If I refresh the page, I should be able to press play. Yeah, so I press play and boom. So, okay, so the buying opportunity for Engine is down here at it's at 2,501 sats. So that's where I actually want to convert. I don't want to convert right here yet. But what I'll do is I will look at ENJ again. I will look at ENJ against USDT and see where it is. So the weekly support, yeah, it lines up. You could see right here that ENJ against UST on the weekly is just above where I actually want to get in. It's about 11% above where I want to get in. But this is where the weekly support is. So this entire area is where I want to stack into my zone for Engine. So I'm not going to buy into Engine yet. I'm going to buy in between 0.943 and here. So between that and 0.735. So this is where I'm going to be stacking in my orders for Engine. Okay, so the next one up is CeeLo. So I will click that and let's play. So CeeLo hit my buy zone down here, which is pretty solid. So I will put in small order for CeeLo right now. This is more of a trade, than a investment, but it's at such a good price that I feel like I should put in at least a small amount right here for my investment. Wait, no, this is 100% a trade. So this is just a trade because I don't really know too much about CeeLo. I don't know enough about CeeLo to make it an investment. So I need to update my group about that. So 1 second. Okay, so the next one that I had up was Polkadot. So I'm going to click on that. And this is my DOT against Bitcoin chart. Well, you could see it's actually already up from the buy zone. So I'm going to start stacking in. Yeah, going to start stacking in to DOT right here. So do that. I waited just a little bit too long because I didn't catch the exact bottom. I do like where we are right now. Okay, guys, this is insane. So I don't know how much time has just passed, but a bunch of time has just passed. And I want to show you something. So I just got this update from people talking in my Discord. Thank you, tcrypto707. But he said that the Solana network is down. And so the Solana network is down, number one. And number two, the Phantom network, Phantom might be getting completely destroyed. So first off, let's talk about Solana. So it seems like bots have officially killed the network, this time forcing a validator level restart since blocks are no longer being produced. Needless to say that nothing on Solana will work for until all the validators come to a consensus that a restart is needed, and now there's time zone issues for the vote. I suspect the network may be down for 24 hours, but hopefully it comes back sooner. Staking and other apps will not be working during this period, but everything should be safe. Thanks. So Solana is down. So what I wrote in the signals is that Solana network's down, so I'll be shorting Solana, SRM, Ray, Ori, and what other coins are on the Solana network that are available to short. Also, the FTM. Yeah, so FTM, coins on the FTM ecosystem are also very good to short because Crypto with Nick put out this video right here talking about how one phantom whale could brick the entire blockchain for days. So yeah, obviously it's definitely a good time to short phantom or spell or basically any token that is within that ecosystem. So I'm going to be shorting those freaking zero. I don't know, for not to zero, but I'm going to definitely be shorting those. And so, yeah, just wanted to mention that. And so From what I'm buying right now, is I'm buying very, very small amounts of things right now because I do not think that the bottom is in. You know, I think that right now there's an opportunity because so many things have gone down so much that there's an opportunity for them to pump up. So I think they could pump up 10% from here. However, I would not want to. I would want to take my profits quickly. So I'm taking my profits quickly for my longs. And you can see, you know, for some coins, they're already up 5%, 6%. If we actually get the bottom, yeah, 7, 8% for a couple coins right now. So that's pretty good. But so I'm long on a couple coins. But for most of them, for the most part, what I'm doing is I'm going to take my profits from my longs very quickly, and then I'm going to be shorting the Phantom ecosystem and the Solana ecosystem. So yeah, oh man, this video has taken so many turns because wow, what the hell is going on with my hair? But yeah, this video has taken so many turns that I feel like I need to sort of just publish it and then go through more of the longer term hodl or longer term positions and like my overall strategy and stuff like that. I guess I'll end this with the strategy that I'm doing right now, which is that a couple days ago I sold everything, right, on my even my long-term positions, investments, and I'm buying back very slowly at those key levels that I mentioned before. And I'm shorting and I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna wait because, like, you know, you need to have cash on hand. There's these times are way too turbulent, and there's way too many things happening to like hold on to crypto because you're gonna hold it to zero if you're into altcoins. And I've been mentioning this for everywhere that I could: Twitter, TikTok, all over the place, YouTube. Like, you don't want to be in alts. You want to be in alts when Bitcoin starts to rally and we start to have a new season, a new crypto season. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here. Thank you for watching this video. I will talk to y'all later. Keep stacking those sats. And that's why I also say, that's why that's a catchphrase, keep stacking those sats. Okay, keep buying Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the only thing that's not guaranteed, but it's basically guaranteed. Also Ethereum. I like Ethereum too. And so yeah, I'm going to sign off. Hopefully this bear market has not completely destroyed you. If it has, stay in there, stay with crypto. It's life-changing if you know what you're doing and you stick with it, and you take your profits and everything like that. So yeah, see y'all later. I'm just going to make as many videos as possible. I'm going to go on a fucking video rant right now. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. Bye.